I live until the party and until the drinks done. So 95 feels so good. Nothing no comments, thing you get one got you. Yes, I'll tell you that. You know we don't play it. Once it's a bitch, you know it's. I did the eventually. True there once, me true there once, me true there once. It's me and all of me people. True there once, true there once. It's me and all of me people. True there once, true there once, true there once. I am with the friend and them. It's me and the friend and them. It's you with the friend and them. Something in the air for them. Whenever we meet is a chilling with the other. Tell them bring friendly under the rum. Yes, out there with us. I'm making a jest. We step to the morning. You know we don't rest. Yes, out there with us. The half of my list. We just till the morning. When you see me in a bar, it's me and all of me people. It's me and all of me people. I am with the friend and them. I live until the party and until the drinks done. So 95 feels so good. Nothing no comments, thing you get one got you. Yes, I'll tell you that. I'm making a jest. We step till the morning. You know we don't play. Yes, I'll tell you that. The whole from my list. We just till the morning. Once it's up, you know it's me and all of my people. It's me and all of my people. It's me and the friend and them. It's you and the friend and them. Something in the air for them. It's me and all of my people. It's me and all of my people.
Yeah, that's added ranking alongside the Pixel, Dimes, and the brother Chiwali. Well, we don't have to add any ranking. We're ranking already. The morning school, highly ranked. That's the morning.
Top ranking.
Top ranking.
Top ranking.
Top ranking. Not
Yeah,
added ranking.
Top ranking. Top ranking. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I tried something this morning, Denny, to see if my there's any crackling this morning. Right. So I know if I guess you're gonna tell me, yeah, who listening, who love to tell, well, it's crackling. Now I can tell me it's crackling this morning.
You're not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything at all.
Right. So what do you mean any crackling? Because hopefully you're hearing something.
Well, we're hearing good things.
Okay. All
Right.
right. Good. Good morning. It is a beautiful Monday morning here in this beautiful country of our St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Ask the nurse what she want, please.
There is someone who a mug, it's tickets, it's passes, you understand? How she edgy Freddy this morning. So good morning to her, sir. Good morning to my favorite Lotto CDC star personality. Well, we know you're about it, but good morning to my big lawyer friend who was press secretary, entertainer, Jesus Christ, but let me stop calling him being. Hey, Lenny, you're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not looking good at all.
Do like me. That's what I do. I did my done. So, so we are here this morning on a beautiful Monday morning, and we have lots to talk about. We have plenty to talk about, but the main thing I want to focus on, at least for the first half of the program, would be our CPE results.
Yep.
Yes, the CPE results. Then you read the story and so on, but maybe you need to recap so that our listeners get a grasp of the statistics, the figures that we're dealing with for CPE. How many people wrote, how many people passed, the kind of grades we're looking at. I mean, the results this year were good. They were better than good. And we have to talk about how good they are. Because the thing I do, and for those of you who listen to the commentary I do on WFM every morning, I guess you heard me before, but we have to contextualize it. We have to look at where they are now and celebrate it. And then we have to compare that to what it was. Because you see, we have a fox and grape issue where when certain fox sour, and you have people trying to bash our education revolution that is doing fantastic work with those students across the country. You understand? So we're going to talk about it this morning. I want to let you chime in. Well, let me make sure put up the numbers, because
the internet is not being good to us this morning.
To you. That's why I use my own internet. That's why I use my own internet. I realize we're doing alternate this morning, so I use my own.
Right. Let me try my hotspot.
Oh, you go on. Tell you. Okay. Right. So yes, we have to look at the whole situation. We have to look at the whole situation, because you hear certain things and you hear certain talk. And I was listening to a calypso yesterday on Star. I don't know who sang it, but the person was saying the opposition just tell us whatever we want to hear, what do you think we want to hear, something. So I can't remember how the thing was going. I said, exactly. They feel that they could just drop a talk, say anything, and we run with it. And some do. Some do. I had a very interesting conversation recently with a good friend of mine, a friend I've known since a child. And the comments that my friend was making caused me to pause and ask myself, but wait, could this be what other Vincentians, I am not sure in what numbers, but could this be what other Vincentians are thinking? But we will get to that. I want we get to CPEA first. And I want we get the CPE information, CPEA Caribbean Primary Exit Examination. That's what? CPEA. So exit assessment. Right, assessment, examination from. And let me talk a little about them and let me big up the children them.
Well, of course, we certainly have to, as you said, big up the children and them. CPEA 2023, we had over 1,700. As a matter of fact, 1,702 registered students. All right,
I will get up a play for later.
1,702?
Yeah. Right.
All right. Wish you luck.
Well, thank you very much. Learn from you. especially about a play for Josie. Yeah. I can take it. No problem.
Yeah, 1,702 registered students. However, 1,693 wrote the final exams.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they
hold on. Let me take the numbers because I feel like you are trying to buzz it in my head. So it's 1,702 and 1,693.
1,693 wrote the exams.
I can say more than one numbers today.
So for one reason or the other, there were 9 students who didn't sit the exam on the day.
Yeah.
And the
parents lapse.
Well, yeah, we're going to go through all of that.
Maybe they were sick.
Yeah, possibly. All right. But very importantly, of those 1,693 students who sat, 1,442 obtained the prescribed standard or pass rate, giving us a pass rate of 85.17%. All right, and that's an increase over last year's 83.87%. All right, and very importantly,
yes,
I haven't gotten to. By the way, we had to say congratulations to
I think Windsor
Primary Jaden Alexander Hamilton for taking the top spot,
and Windsor got a number of spots in the top spots.
I think they got 3 in the top 10.
Yeah,
Let me see.
They got big up.
No, they got 2. Sugar Mill Academy, they got 3.
You got to big up them there. I think St. Mary's had,
They got
Prep
2.
had as well.
Kingston Preparatory had 1. Fair Hall Primary,
Big up Fair Hall.
as close to me in Glendale.
Well, I don't big up the partner Boynes cause Malia did. Malia passed the exam and so on. So big up to Malia.
Yep.
Did
Yep.
well. You know, and I don't want listen, it's Boynes and Rasman. So let me not call Boynes alone because Rasman go back to me now. So it's Boynes alone, make Malia. So
Big
it's
up,
it's two of them.
big up everybody.
Big up everybody, right? Big up mommy and daddy.
All right, so making the point, sorry, that the pass rate was slightly better than last year. So kudos to the youngsters. Making the point that out of the top 10, there were 8 males.
That's so good.
8 boys.
That's good.
In the top 10.
That's
However,
good.
overall,
Yeah.
of the 1,442, 666 were boys, representing 79.19% of the males who wrote the exams. But the females continue to do well. As a matter of fact, doing better than the males. There were 776 females who passed, and they represented 91.08% of the females. You know, so we got to pick up the girls this morning.
Good stuff.
You did a great job as far as CPEA 2023 is concerned, and continue to lead the boys. So boys, we have some catching up to do, and we know we have that ability, but there's something within the youngsters sometimes that lose focus and that kind of stuff. But it's in the morning to delve into that. In terms of high scores, well, as you know, Jaden of Windsor Primary, his overall score was 97.2%. Remarkable. Out of 100, you only lose 2.8 percentage point.
Remarkable.
Huh?
Remarkable.
Wow, what an achievement for the young man. All right. The top students in mathematics had a score of 97.3%. As a matter of fact, there were 2 students there, Cole Innes of the St. Mary's Roman Catholic and Orion John of the Fair Hall Primary.
I had a problem with you. Big it up Fair Hall at all.
He said George, man. In science, 98.67%, the top student being Maya Samuel of the Lomans Leeward Anglican School. And you see that trend coming through here. Of course, you have the Windsors and the Kingston Preparatory and the Roman Catholic, but you see the Fair Hall Primary and the Lomans Leeward also coming into the mix, right? Language arts, 98.67%, Jaden Hamilton of the Windsor Primary. In social studies, there was Kaj Murray of the Windsor Primary. He had a score of 97.3%. And out of the 66 schools, 47 of those schools recorded a pass rate in excess of 80%. I know there are some schools who are celebrating 100% passes.
Like Fair Hall, for example.
Exactly, right? Windsor Primary and the likes. But out of the 66 primary schools here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 47 with a pass rate in excess of 80%. And that, for me, is significant. It speaks volumes. It says that, of course, the whole matter of the education revolution, where here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, no child is being left behind, and a system where the playing field is leveled. So you'll find teachers, what is saying, experience and qualifications all across the length and breadth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And that's the remarkable thing about the education revolution. So students from Sandy Bay, students from Union Island. By the way, I see Mary Hutchison thumping off the chest about their 100% pass rate, and we say congratulations to them.
Absolutely.
You know, and the other schools here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who've had similar success as far as the CPEA 2023 is concerned. And, remarkable in the way in which we have gone about educating our youngsters, and they're have responded in a big way. Overall, of course, I know there are quite a lot of happy, smiling faces this Monday morning. There are a few in between, we're not so happy, but the system allows for that continuance where you don't have to be left behind, but you will get the opportunity to get into a secondary school, continue with their education, and there have been wonderful stories where persons who didn't do so well at CPEA, but at the end of the day, when the results came in for CSEC, They come with it 8 and 9 and the 10. Remarkable. That's just how well this education system has worked for us all here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But I'll big up the youngsters, certainly, and the teachers and the parents, all involved in this entire process. And congratulations. It's just been remarkable, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We continue to show to the rest of the region, the rest of the world, that when it comes to educating our people, we're certainly doing it in a very, very big way, and a very good way, Sion. There's no question about that.
Absolutely. You talked about leveling the playing field. You have Fairhall, like you said, and Romans. But over the years past, you've had top performers from Rose Hall, from Georgetown, from Connery, from Richland Park, Seventh Adventist, Beckway, and so. So you've had top performers across the country. Where that definitely shows a leveling of the playing field, that our students throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines are given that opportunity, and they are taking full advantage of the opportunity. So you have to congratulate the students. You must congratulate the students, and you must also congratulate the teachers who worked really hard to prepare those students. You know, I know of teachers who would give additional lessons to the slow ones for free. You know, work with them, take the time to try and bring them up to par. And so you have to congratulate those teachers who really put the interest of their students first and did the work so that we have the type of results that we have this year. You congratulate the parents who worked with the students, who supported the teachers, who made sure that when the students came home, their homework was done, and those parents who also had the additional interest and finances to send their children to paid extra lessons, whatever was necessary to ensure that they had a certain level of success, a certain measure of success coming out of the CPEA. You congratulate those parents as well. So all of the players, the teachers, the students, the parents, the Ministry of Education for making sure that the resources were available. Look, I don't know why all of a sudden, since the ULP in office and Dr. Gonzalez is Prime Minister, that people expect perfection. Because remember, we have gone from a situation of less than 40% to a situation of 85%. Now, let me go back a little bit. And so for those of you who know what I'm talking about, because many individuals who are under the age of 30 have no idea what I'm going to talk about. None. So let me talk to those above that who know what we've been talking about. The first thing is, you had 3 streams or 2 streams, depending on the size of the school. You had junior 5A, you had 5B, and if it was a really big school, you had 5C. Right? Well, generally speaking, them in 5C know that, boy, if you get a right couple of entrance, you're lucky.
Very lucky.
You're lucky. Because the school making sure that they pick out the few students, usually all in 5A, going. And the majority of 5B going. Hello, 5C, you bunk for seniors, eh? I'm laughing, but not supposed to. I'm laughing, but I'm not supposed to. Yeah. 5C, you bunk for the seniors. That's a big school. If it's a smaller school with 5A and 5B, hello, call a 5 year ago. I dribble, some from 5B might get a chance to write. But some in 5B, no, you ain't writing no common entrance because they don't realize you ain't fail, you ain't going nowhere. Right. So the first thing is they pick out the students who think they're going past and they work with them. Then you send those that you think going past to common entrance. So it's like how we have 1,800, almost 1,600, almost 1,700 students, 1,700 students writing. Maybe over 14 something, 13 something. Right. When the results come back, you don't pick out who you think will fail. So all we are sending supposed to pass because the school sending who they believe will pass. But when the results come back, excuse me, less than half of them going pass, bring a pass mark. They ain't going to get 150 out of 300. Okay. So the 6 something now, whatever, or how much ever out of 1,400, they no, well, okay, we pass. Some for grammar school, some for high school, and so on. The rest of them, the majority, about 800, 7 something, 800 of them, who Patricia Derrick say, 5C was the dunce class. Patricia, don't use those words on my black, please. But we know the reality.
Yeah, that's the reality.
We know the reality. That was the class that,
Back
hey,
then, yeah.
listen, that was bunk for seniors. Right. So the majority of the 700 and something, close to 800 that fail, where we have now is a few of them, because they get 140, 142, 145, especially if in the rural areas, you go by Mr. Stevens, that's what Stevens in PTB law, you go by the principal in Baga or in Chomoka and so on, and you negotiate. You negotiate and you get what is called a pick. So you get the opportunity for send a child to the school. Others, some school had an entrance exam. So some of them students who didn't pass would go and write the entrance exam for the school to try and get in, whether it's Emmanuel Mespo or whatever. You write the entrance exam, you might get in. For some others, for some of the bigger schools, like for example, Chateaubriand, Methodist, and Cedar Prescott Hard, and so on, Stony Rungs, it's a senior class. So some go to seniors. But the unfortunate reality for a significant number of those students was that they were out of school. Oh, I forgot them. There's another group where they were young. And so you have another chance to write the common entrance before you're too old. So you repeat junior 5. Right? So you need grandpa junior 5. That's what I used to call it. I would know. Right? You junior 5 grandpa or grandma. Because you repeat junior 5 because you feel common entrance. Because you have another chance. But for a significant number of those students, they were out of the school system.
Yep.
There was no senior one for you. There was a second chance because you're too old. And in some instances, the parents decide, man, listen to me, your head tough, you can't learn me, now fight up no more with you. And so those students were now out of school. So of the 1,400 and something students, 1,500 students that wrote common entrance, you may well find that the system accommodated maybe 1,100 of them, maybe even 1,200 of them, through the second chance, through the senior school, through the PIC, and through the entrance exams for the various secondary school. But you still had about 300 students, Denny, unaccounted for.
Definitely. Stick up in, let's just hear what this caller has to say. Hello, good morning. All right, we missed it.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
You still had about 300 students unaccounted for. Those students, some of them went to law and trade, some of them got pregnant, well, just even early. Some went to drugs, some went to the farm with their parents or grandparents, different things. But some of them definitely were put on a path to crime very early. No option.
Okay, caller, good morning.
Hi, yes, good morning.
Blessed morning.
First, I want to congratulate those students that were successful in the common entrance. But the first thing I want to talk about is when Mr. Marshall was talking on VFM this morning, he was talking about making reference to the number of young persons, male in particular, that might be ending up in an unfortunate situation, perhaps to the Belle Isle or wherever else.
Yes.
So when he was saying he thought that there should be some research, I'm getting a lot of feedback here. When he said that he should have some research, if he goes into the Ministry of Education tables, going back even to 2001, but I went to 2011-21, there's about 8% plus dropout of young males from like grade 6, Form 1, Form 2, and some from 3. Now, when you drop out of school, school, it doesn't mean to say that you have failed an examination. It just means to say that you probably didn't learn at the pace in which you were required to learn. And if you haven't grasped the basic skills in kindergarten, in the current system that we have, if you're not a good reader by the age of 7, the reading volume increases 100%. So right there, you're going to be behind. So in my view, and I was a qualified teacher for over 40 years. So in my view, unless those skills in kindergarten are reviewed on a regular basis when the child reaches grade 1 and 2, those skills will be lost and that child will struggle. So when he or she sits common entrance, they will already be behind in their reading ability and sometimes computation.
Yes.
So that they don't really have a chance to catch up. But they're moved into the secondary system and they sit in the classroom, they can't understand what's going on, they're struggling, they become a troublesome young person. And then what happens? They can't cope, so they drop out.
Yes.
And where can they go? What can they do? Well, sadly, a lot of them get into trouble. And this is where I'm sorry to say the education revolution is actually failing those children. And I know that will be like a red rag for bull to some people. But in my view, this is how I am seeing it. I have done investigation as to why some young persons drop out. And as I said, there are many reasons. But the education system, as it is now, if you do not address the very basic skills in kindergarten and grade 1, review them constantly, because some children don't grasp the information immediately. So if you don't review it, and you let the child continue, well, where is his basic skill? Where's his foundation? And many times a parent cannot help, and the child is already struggling.
Now,
So I just wanted to put that out.
but if I may just say, and I do not disagree with you at all with a lot of what you've said. One of the things that you mentioned was that.
Okay, I'll listen off the air. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I really didn't want it to go off because I would not mind her, responding.
Yeah, exactly.
But so she said a lot there, and there's a lot to unpack. And the only disagreement I have, naturally, as she said, the red flag, was when she said that the education revolution is failing those children. No. I do not have a doubt that there would be some responsibility on the system, and how the education revolution addresses those systems may well be the challenge, so that those students that our friend referred to, the caller, who didn't grasp, first of all, one would be in the minority. Those are the majority of students. Those are a minority of students who did not grasp the basic reading and computation, arithmetic skills early. And you're absolutely right. As they keep going forward, not having grasped the foundation, it becomes more difficult. So you go into secondary school and there are reading challenges. No. Part of it, as she's right, could be the curriculum that we have. Absolutely. Part of it could be the instruction given from the teacher itself. But we also must understand that part of it can be the child, him or herself, who may have learning challenges. When I was a teacher, it was a lot more difficult for us to spot learning challenges. And so many students who had those challenges, various challenges, autism, dyslexia, and so forth, could have gone through the system unnoticed. Teacher not trained for that, and teacher just realized the child slow, the child right D every time there's B, and so on and so forth. But we're not trained to acknowledge that, to pick that out, and as a result, adjust the teaching learning experience to facilitate those child or that children or that lad, those children or that child. So that, but now you have more teachers in the system being trained in early childhood education specifically, and even in some instances, special ed. And so what we may need now to look at is how do we capture those learning challenges from very, very early? And how do we address that? My sister, who's a specialist in the field, Gemma, would tell you about inclusive education. So the days of a special ed school, a school for special needs, where you put the students in a group together, they're moving away from that. And so now you have students with learning challenges expected to be a part of the same classroom with students who do not have the similar challenges. And so being able to capture that information, capture the child early, and then adjust or adjust the teaching learning experience to accommodate that child or those children is something that the education revolution now has to work on more seriously.
I think we have another call. Good morning.
Hi, good morning again. I'm so sorry to keep calling you.
That's fine.
You are absolutely right, Mr. Marshall. Yes, we need teachers properly trained to investigate those children, assess them properly to see where their strengths and weaknesses are.
Exactly.
Now, I am trained specialist in dyslexia, so I have been doing this for over 30 years. I have been working with children who have specific learning difficulties, and if a teacher is not trained adequately in their basic training to understand where these children operate, on how they operate, they will continue to struggle.
Yes.
Teachers are becoming more aware that a child has a specific difficulty, but they don't know how to address it.
Right.
And this needs proper
or the system may not have anything for them to allow them to address it. And so that's the point I was agreeing with you on, that first of all, the teachers need to be able to recognize it, but also the system has to have the system has to have measures that would now allow the teacher to address what deficiencies he or she may recognize. So, for example, my sister, for example, who lives in Canada, she would then be called in as the specialist who deals with autism to be brought into the classroom now to work with that autistic child or those autistic children during the lesson in assistance with the teacher, because she's not a teacher. But we ain't had her yet, and so that is something that, like you said, the education revolution has to now move towards to now have trained specialists so that we can have inclusive education, because those things are there.
I have been calling for this in 1997, that there should be a special educational needs person, teacher, male or female, doesn't matter, who is properly trained to identify, or a teacher will identify a child as having a problem. This individual can then assess the child to the best of their ability because of their training, and they would write out an independent educational program for that child. However, the time frame allowed for this child to perform is limited, because you have to now push this child, so to speak, to keep up with the rest of the group, because obviously the parents want their child to go through common entrance, whatever it might be. But there's a lot of work that's required for teaching a child who has a specific learning difficulty.
Absolutely.
Now, dyslexia is only one. You have endless other areas of difficulty that a child can present. So we need a much broader training system for teachers who wish to specialize in this.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sure with all the scholarships, etc., that are offered all around the place, I have never seen one scholarship that's been offered to encourage teachers who wish to go into special education in a bigger way. There might be a branch of it, or you do a couple of semesters, but that's not enough. You have to have a proper qualification. And if you, as a teacher, assess the child to your ability under your qualifications as a special needs educator, that child might need to have a proper educational psychological assessment, not clinical, educational, because an educational psychologist is privy to many tests and examinations that will now identify where that child is coming from. So this is my whole point. The education revolution needs to now step up, as you say, Mr. Marshall, train special educational need coordinators, have them available in schools if possible, so that they can now select children or see children that are struggling and try to address problems so that we could try and arrest a lot of the dropouts. We won't arrest all by any means, but at least there will be a large percentage. And in every classroom, you've got at least 1, 2, if not more children that have a learning difference.
Absolutely.
So they must be addressed. So thank you very much.
And thank you.
Sorry to keep talking again.
No, I actually appreciate the call. I really do appreciate the call.
Okay, thanks. I'll listen off air.
All right, no problem.
Right. Bye-bye.
I absolutely appreciate the call.
Same here.
And the issues brought to the fore, and it speaks to early detection, recognition of learning disabilities. I remember the other day, Fairhall Government School got into the limelight for their own inclusive education program that they have, where students with autism and so forth were brought in and were a part of the school system. And at the time, I remember speaking with some of the teachers there, and it's not that they had any teacher trained in the specific area. They didn't, but it was just something that they attempted, and it bore serious success. You may have a situation where the level of learning difference, and that's the term that our friend used, maybe too wide for the regular school system. I don't know if in this case, you definitely have to put them in a special school, but in a situation where it is mild enough, or it is at a stage where it can be inclusive, as was attempted by Fairhall, for example, it would be excellent for us to now have these individuals, not necessarily teachers, as I said, but that individual in the school who goes to the different classes and works with the affected student or students during their regular instructional time, so as to help them to cope. Sometimes it's just a matter of coping. Sometimes it's a matter of the way the information is distilled for that student's ability, to be able to assimilate the information. Whatever it is, detection is key. Having the ability to understand and detect that, hey, we have a situation with child A or child B or children A and B, and once we've diagnosed that, once we've detected that, then we move to the second stage, where there's a program in place with the trained individuals to be activated and assist the child in the learning process. That's where we can go.
All right, well said. We're 20 minutes after the 8 o'clock hour. We're due for commercial break here on a Monday morning. We do so. Come back taking your calls and certainly your inputs, of course, here on the Morning School. Keep it locked in. On Tuesday, June 13th, there'll be thousands of dollars to be won. A lotto jackpot of $115,000. A new home, car, or that college education.
Lotto, you have to be in it
win it.
Next Lotto jackpot, $115,000.
Out with the old, in with the new. In the past, you complained when we failed. We listened and went back to the drawing board. At last, a new, fresh beginning. A fresh face, a new product. International Standard Metals A792 presents Galvalume, an aluminum roofing metal, branded best used for roofing material, tested and proven to be of superior quality. Get wider coverage for the best prices on the island. We offer a variety of colors, including zinc sheets. Also, take advantage of our unique roofing patterns, U-panel, industrial, and crimp Spanish style. Visit us at the Diamond Industrial Estate. Call us at 784-456-9900 or email bmlsvg@gmail.com. Galvalume, a product of International Standard Metals.
To satisfy SVG's premier Calypso tent, the Upstage Experience is coming to a venue near you with a smooth mix of hard-hitting social and political commentary and hilarious composition. A cast of veterans and freshmen, including Young King, Pecos, Colette Sean, Lil Chris, Omani, Parry, Observer, Broom, Iceman, Sprinter, GC, Fire Empress, Lil Bit, Chanel McKenzie, Ron B, Sheena, Bomani, Dimes, and Pixel and more. Get your taste of the Upstage Experience on Wednesdays, June 7th and 14th at the Russell Auditorium. Saturday, June 10th, Sandy Bay, and June 17th, North Leeward. Sponsored by Geku, The Musty Company Limited, Bank of SVG, SVG Building and Loan Association, Computech, Kingstown Cooperative Credit Union, CK Graves and Company, and the Teachers Cooperative Credit Union.
Updating or updating? We supply high-quality engineered hardwood flooring, luxury vinyl planks, and a wide assortment of stylish trims. We also supply wall and floor tiles and tiling-related products. How about your staircase? We have railings, posts, pickets in metal, stainless steel, wood, and glass to make your staircase a centerpiece. We offer personalized selection and shipping service from Canada to SVG. Contact Marlon on WhatsApp at 289-200-7649 or District Stairs on Facebook.
You can increase your chances of winning the Super 6 jackpot with a combo play. Remember, Super 6 numbers are from 1 to 28. Choose any 5 Super 6 numbers. That's a combo 5 for $69. Match any 5 of the 6 numbers and you will win the jackpot. Choose 7 Super 6 numbers for $21. Match any 6 of the 7 numbers and win the jackpot. There's more. Combo 8, where you purchase 8 Super 6 numbers for $84. Match any 6 of the 8 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3 and Combo 4 Super 6 plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Super 6. Bigger jackpots, more chances
At
to
the
win.
People's Pharmacy, we've put our mission at the center of our name. We are people-centered, and every day we renew this commitment to providing products and services that help our valued customers lead healthier and happy lives. The People's Pharmacy fills prescriptions promptly and accurately, and also offers a wide range of vitamins and supplements, plus generic medication for everything from an upset stomach to the common cold. We offer toiletries and baby care items. Mondays through Saturdays. For more information, give us a call at 456-1170. The People's Pharmacy. We go further to serve you better.
General Hardware still has the best prices on steel, lumber, and plywood. So go on, compare prices. And if by chance you find a better price, no stress. Just talk to the General and they will beat that price plus give you special priority delivery. Yes, General Hardware offers free island-wide delivery on most purchases, so you never have to worry about getting your goods on site on time. Plus, shopping at General Hardware is a pleasant experience with friendly, knowledgeable staff always ready to serve. What more could you wish for, huh? So come to General Hardware for proper service, lowest prices, free delivery, and see why nobody beats the General. Nobody.
Friday, 30th June will not be a regular Friday. It will be Fantastic Friday. It's the Kaiso semifinals as Calypsonians compete for a place in the Kaiso finals. So Friday, June 30th, it's Fantastic Friday.
More reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
$280,000. That's the Super 6 jackpot from midday Tuesday, June 13th. It's $280,000.
More jackpot money. More reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a
Customize your kitchen exactly how you like it. At Jake's Kitchen, we supply natural British hardwood cabinets for all purposes, like over the hood and standard wall cabinets with wine and plate racks and different accessories to choose from. And Jake's Kitchen has the very best white and stainless steel microwaves, stoves, and fridges with water dispenser. And we've got items for other parts of the house too. Give your kitchen that posh Hollywood look for the best price in the land at Jake's Kitchen. Open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and until 12 Saturdays. Jake's Kitchen, upstairs Caribbean Glass, Grenville Street. Call 456-2126. Email sales.caribglass@vincisurf.com.
Santiago Orthopedics and Traumatology Center in Capital City, Kingstown, specializing in bone, joints, ligaments, tendons, and muscle health. We offer PRP treatment, which supports wound healing in the joints, epidural treatment for lower back pain, hyaluronic acid treatment for knee pain, and much more. We also do minor surgeries and offer X-ray, physiotherapy, abdominal, joint, and pregnancy ultrasounds, cast and cast removal services. We are located at the junction of Level Gardens, opposite the Girls Guide headquarters. Our opening hours are Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. We also do home visits, and our services are also extended to the Grenadines in Beckway every Saturday at Dr. Lugo's Clinic. Visit, call, or WhatsApp 530-7866 for Dr. Santiago Orthopedics and Traumatology Center, where preventing disease, relieving suffering, and healing the sick is our priority.
SVG, this is the big one. Get ready for the massive launch of the Graduates Calypso 10 2023. Tuesday, May 30th, June 6th, with preliminaries on June 13th at the Russell's Auditorium. Come here, Calypso stars like Rankin Sam, Sule, Hero, the Mojo Man, Homie, Cleo, Nubian Empress, Lady D, Selena, Samantha Martin, Tacho, Buster Ski, Gao, Hans, Shaka, Mitch, Osari, Blanca, Handel, Alexander, Javin Rose Jr., Enoch Raggett, Javin Drankin Peter, and Bad Creation. Admission $20. Carnival Gas. Without the biggest Calypso 10 graduates, Calypso 10 SPG, get ready.
Shut up. There's a big problem.
Winning the lotto jackpot? Well, there is an easy way. Combo Play. Choose 4 numbers from 1 to 36. That's a combo 4 at a cost of $64. Match any 4 of the 5 numbers and win the lotto jackpot. There's Combo 6, where you purchase 6 numbers for only $12. Match any 5 of the 6 lotto numbers and hit the jackpot. How about Combo 7? That's a purchase of 7 lotto numbers for $42. Match any 5 of the 7 numbers and you will win the jackpot. There are also Combo 3, Combo 8, and Combo 9 lotto plays. Visit the NLA headquarters in Pauls Avenue or WhatsApp 495-6886 for more details. Lotto, you have to be in it to win it. All right, yes, we're back with you here on a Monday morning as we certainly continue with the morning scoop here on Star 98.3, 104.7 on the FM dial. Morning time, it is 8:30 on the ticker. We have a call online. Let's see who we have there. Good morning. All right. Person's left us, but the lines are still open. It's 451-7827. You can also send us your WhatsApp messages, voice notes at 534-7827. Caller, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Also, the Prime Minister from Australia.
Certainly, yes.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Prime Minister.
Morning, sir.
Good morning to the firm of Denny and Marshall.
Morning to you, Prime Minister.
You know, brother Denny, you'll have to work literally in another year's time in the firm of Denny and Marshall. when he gets called to the bar.
When he gets called to the bar. That's so true.
In a year or 2 months' time. So I want to join with everybody in congratulating the students, the teachers, the parents, everyone who's been involved, those in the ministry with the education of our children in the primary school, the CPEA. If you notice, the CPEA exam is a far superior exam to what was the old common entrance. Because the old common entrance tested you exclusively on your exam. Whereas the current CPE tests you also, as you realize, Brother Denny, on coursework too.
Yes.
And one of the attractive things about the coursework is that it can be used not only as an examination exercise, but also as a tool for education. In the sense that rather than waiting until the exam comes and that you don't appreciate, that you don't understand what is being taught, you can have your coursework marked on an ongoing basis and get an opportunity, therefore, to improve your coursework grade by correcting your lack of understanding on an earlier test now.
Yes.
I think that is something which is quite attractive. For persons who don't know, it is important to explain how the coursework is assessed and how the exam is assessed. Because for the coursework, you have, first of all, the mark out of 500. That's the total mark.
Mm-hmm.
The exam and the coursework. What they call the school-based assessment, which is the coursework, and the external assessment is the exam. So in the coursework, you have for math, there's 45 marks. For language, 65 marks. Science, 45. And social studies, 45. But in each of those 4 subjects, the exam mark is 75. So that the exam mark is 300, 60%. And the coursework, divided the way in which I just said it there, is 200 marks. 3 of them maximum 45 each, and the language 65. So it affords persons who get nervous in exams, or who get sick on the morning, or some event transpires in the family. For instance, I know in a particular school where you had one person, didn't succeed. That is to say, pass deferred. A rural school. But his mother died, and he came up to live in the countryside with his family. So he had done, and this death occurred pretty close to the exam period now. But he had done fairly well in the coursework. But he tanked in the exam. By having the system what we have, even though he didn't make 50% overall, that is to say 250 marks out of the 500. And though he passed deferred, yet he got 40-something% overall. So he wasn't disastrous. I know, for instance, in my constituency, there are two persons in two of the schools, and there may well be more, who are sick on the day and didn't perform up to their expectation. So they had some coursework mark to help to cushion. And I remember when the CXC came to us, they wrote a paper. Because Jules was then in charge of CXP. And he brought his team. I put aside some time at cabinet. I spent about 4 hours going to sit with them, asking all kind of questions. And they said, well, you know, Anguilla and Grenada had pilot studies. A pilot exam now, you know, 1 or 2 schools do it now, while you have in the common entrance. But I told them that I was satisfied that we could manage the straight implementation, which was done. Of course, we have some weaknesses still. Still there's a concentration on certain schools which perform far better than others. Even though the teachers across the board are just as qualified. But what I note is that in some areas and among some students, sometimes the parents don't take as much as an interest, which is very important in this business. And you may have a problem in 1 or 2 schools with poor leadership. And in a few cases, poor quality teaching. And as we all know, and the research has borne out, that educational outcomes are dependent largely on quality leadership in the schools, quality teaching in the schools, quality parenting in the homes. And that will provide maximum effort against a backdrop of reasonable infrastructure. And you have reasonable infrastructure. In fact, since 2010, we have given out, for example, technological devices on 3 separate occasions. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
There's some countries bigger in the Caribbean. They haven't even done it once. And we have done it primary and secondary and community college. In fact, right now, we are giving out over 3,000 Chromebooks to fifth formers and to first year in community college. Some people who don't understand anything simply say, why are you giving fifth formers? They're going home. Well, the truth is that between 70 and 75% of the fifth formers go to the community college or some other post-secondary institution doing study online. So those fifth formers need the Chromebooks.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we have 25% of them who enter in the job market, what are you going to do? Be mean and keep up with that 25%? Huh? You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, sometimes some fellas with grand postulates and they think they're making great points, but they don't have the data and they don't apply their heart to wisdom. In any case, if a fifth former is going to work somewhere, not going to community college, or not continuing his or her education immediately after, invariably, many of them have use of a Chromebook. Sometimes some of them may take advantage of Prime. So you can entrust an 18-year-old with $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 to start up a business. But you can help them with a Chromebook. To carry on the work in the business.
I know.
Come on, man. Come on. Give me a break. You notice how this government trusts young people? Eh?
Yes.
And value their effort? As against the fellas on the other side who have no time for young people. And we knew that long time, but we saw somebody came out of the bowels of the NDP youth giving a chapter and verse.
Oh yes.
That they got no time for young people. So I wanted to do the congratulations, but at the same time, as I always seek to do, not just glory in the congratulations, but see how we can improve. And I'm requesting to the Ministry of Education for yet another year, for every school in the community must have consultations with the parents. I for instance, in Connery School, there's a student who didn't do well. And I know the family. And in that particular case, there's a single parent. And she has a number of children. And the question of the circumstances in the household would have made that very difficult. That child being difficult with that child. And I specifically inquired of the teachers whether the matter had come to the attention of the Ministry of National Mobilization. They said yes. And the mobilization caseworker tried to work. But you can't do that work episodically. It has to be done on an ongoing basis. And every individual child has to be saved. You see the point I'm making?
Exactly.
And that's how we have to drill down, eh? I don't want anybody tell me where school didn't perform very well. There's a bad crop. Children are not like potatoes or yams or dashi. Tell me there's a bad crop. We have to look at quality leadership in the schools, quality teaching, quality parenting to bring out maximum effort of the students. It's as simple and straightforward as that. But each limb of that straightforward prognosis and analysis, each limb of that requires work. And where help is to be needed, to be put in place. The schools must inform the Ministry of Education. They must contact the Ministry of National Mobilization to provide requisite support so that the child doesn't, in a sense, fall into the hole. There are some other good bits of news. You know, yesterday there was a festive evening, afternoon to evening in South Rivers.
Yes.
Park Hill Primary School and South Rivers Primary School played for the primary school championship in cricket.
Yes.
Oya came third. And the people turned out. Brother Denny, I was disappointed not to see the tree covering it.
I know that, PM, but the flu has afflicted us badly. Over a significant amount of our staff is out because of the flu. Hence, we weren't able to make it up yesterday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But I don't think you all covered also the secondary competition.
No.
Down in Bukament, where again North Central won. George Stephen Secondary.
Yes.
So we have to try and do better with these things. Yeah.
Certainly.
We can't put all the effort in organizing cricket competitions. And don't have the young people then get the national coverage now.
I agree with you.
So we gotta try and do that. I spoke to Sean about that too.
Yes.
But having said that, it was magnificent. And we have a lot of good young cricketers coming through. You know, it's not an accident that you have Park Hill and South Rivers. You know, we in South Rivers, we had to divert a stream and move 3 houses in order to get a playing field.
That's correct.
Over $3.5 million in. In the case of Park Hill, we got a piece of flat land. But because the place is mountainous, we had to move part of a mountain to get a wonderful playing field.
Yes.
Where you play under 19.
That's true.
That's over $3.5 million too. And the organization with which you are involved, National Lottery, they have done magnificent work in maintaining the facilities too, apart from putting resources in now.
Yes.
And in Connery, there's a playing field right in the schoolyard for George Stevens.
Yes.
What is now, we need to put up the sign to call it the Irvin Warwick and Plainfield. The cabinet had made that decision to call it after Irvin. So today, this week, I'm basking in some victories in North Central. The 1 and 2, number 1 and 2 for cricket for the primary school. And number 1, when you beat Barley Secondary, which is a titan in secondary school sports of all kinds, athletics, football, cricket.
Yes.
You know you have to come up trumps.
Yes.
In this case, the young men from the east took out those on the west. Good healthy rivalry.
Yeah.
I have to get the young men from George Stevens Secondary to come and look for me.
Well, I'm hoping, Prime Minister, that you didn't do what you did with the football and wager. But at least the last time when the Warriors met the footballers met, you had actually wagered against Bagger and you had to pay for that.
Oh yes. Well, this time at Connery. Sorry, at South. It was yesterday. I was an equal opportunity supporter.
Exactly.
And but I got my mild revenge on Barley Secondary, Central US, because the last time I was mouthing off that Georgetown Secondary beat them in football at Victoria Park.
Right.
And we were whipped. You know, that evening, the women from Barley and Layu, I tell you, they heckled me in the head. I remember it very well. And when they think I didn't have enough, when I was walking about, they summoned me in the stand to sit among them. And it haunted me, yes, boy, I tell you. But I can savor the victory a little bit.
A little bit.
But Central US is fantastic.
Yes, yeah.
And the netballers are going off shortly to Central America. And we are supporting them again. They've raised a little more money for themselves now. But you know, before this, over the last year, just in competitions in Guadeloupe, in Dominica, in Jamaica, we put about close to $300,000 to support them in those competitions. And we have just, I believe the payments were made last week, because I had approved it, confirmed by the cabinet. 12 students at GC Foster in Jamaica. You know, the school where they do coaching and all the rest of it.
Yes.
And they have some good athletes who go there. They do their associate degrees. You know, the individual coaches made those arrangements. They asked us mainly to give a settling in of $5,000. And those who came, we gave that. Almost all of them. But it turned out that the young people didn't have full scholarships. was shocked to learn that there was the arrears for the students and the arrears and for their completion this year, which has just gone, cost us $168,000 US. You hear me?
Yes.
Mhm.
Over 400 some $1,000. But what I didn't like about that is that these persons are handpicked by coaches who went. No doubt all deserve it. But if the government is going to be involved and we are going to give scholarships, it has to be open and competitive.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
But we ended up footing the bill because I can't allow the students not to graduate. In fact, I was away when I got the information that they were going to block them from writing the exam. So I had to give approval electronically for a letter to be sent to the establishment allowing them to write the exam, the students to write the exams, and then that will make the payments. And we're doing something on the way going forward. But you remember, this is not the first time I talk about individual coaches not acting in this regard, in this particular respect, as well as they should act. I'm very pleased that the coaches are very enthusiastic, seeking places for their students, for their athletes. And in some cases, the coaches are even out of pocket. And they're very self-sacrificing. But we have to do the things properly, man.
Yes.
Eh? That's all I ask. On the educational side, we have just finished some discussions, important discussions, with some highly subsidized rates from Monroe College. You know, the St. Lucia, New York establishment.
Mhm.
And including online. And I'm just waiting a final report from the technical people for us to go forward with an agreement. I myself have had discussions with the senior vice president at Monroe College. And there are some innovative courses which we are interested in. So that's another opening, another phalanx, another pillar. In addition to all what we have been doing already. We have to continue to broaden and deepen this education revolution, you know. But one of the things I want to advise that when our students graduate, I want them to understand that getting the degree is to enable them to help to enhance production and to develop the country and to develop themselves and their families. There's a tiny minority of graduates who apparently think that they should be celebrated and paid for the achievement of the degree without correspondingly doing work
Good work.
appropriate to a person with that level of education.
Mhm.
Huh? And what I will urge is this. is the acceptance of this simple point. A university education, well, in fact, all education, but particularly post-secondary and your university education, it should steel you, S-T-E-E-L, fortify you,
Right.
strengthen you in dealing and addressing ongoing and everyday challenges. But in one or two cases, it seems as though the university education or the college education has made them more fragile rather than stronger. Because knowledge has to be put in along with understanding and judgment. Those propositions as old as the hills, you know. You find them in Ecclesiastes and Proverbs, and also in the Psalms, in the Hebrew Bible. But what I don't understand, a man who celebrated in Calypso the education revolution, among other things, I don't understand what can get him to say, five in a row, what you have to show. Yeah? I mean, obviously somebody write that for the man, and he hoping that by criticizing the government, he could help him advance with some judges. But I don't. You will sing a song celebrating the airport. Rabuka Bridge, modern medical, the education revolution, and other things. And you turn around and say, five in a row, what is there to show? Eh?
Sounds like he has flu, or he's overall sick. Right. But that's what I would think.
Well, I hope the brethren hear me. You know,
Lord.
I know a young lady who is a comrade, and somebody from overseas write a song for her, and she's singing the words, but she don't mean them. Calypso thing could get peculiar.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
I remember once I asked my brethren Abijah, I said, but why are you singing this thing and it ain't true? On a particular matter. He said, boy, you know, comrade, it's Calypso, you know.
Wow.
Very good.
Very good.
So that's how you got to take some of it. But they're also very positive ones.
Yes.
And then you notice that all this talk that venues will not be available. You know, notice people enjoying the carnival at all different venues.
Oh yes.
Eh?
Yes.
And a man who said because he can't have a wet pen down at the hard boat in Annisville, that there can be no carnival.
Right.
Carnival would be,
Yeah.
you know, long before the man come from England, so much invincible.
We had carnival.
We had carnival. And long after all of us are dust to dust, ashes to ashes, we're going to have carnival.
Yes, man.
You know, Kitchener sang, for instance, the road make to walk on Carnival Day. Yeah?
Yes.
If even just boom drum, you got beat. Are we doing more than boom drum? People will be on Carnival Day. In fact,
Yes.
some people try to turn funeral into Carnival. Sometimes with boom drum.
Yes.
Only in that case with religious song. And celebrating the life of people. So I don't know with some people who never have anything good to say about St. Vincent. Never ever have anything to go about St. Vincent. But want to make it their home. Why you hate the place? And why you think that nothing existed before you come?
Mm-hmm.
Eh? I mean, come to live now.
Yes.
You know, anyway. But you know, one of the things why they both respect the comrade and at the same time have to be mindful with the same. Because they know that I will respond with language which the people would understand. And what we are having with all what we are talking about is from the title of my last book, A Time of Respect, Beyond COVID, Volcanic Eruption, Hurricane Elsa, Global Turmoil,
Fresh hope.
Fresh Hope for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Nearly 300 pages, you know, with faith and hope and love. The greatest of all is love. When broad daylight, Friday and Company want to thief the clothes. But if you try to keep the clothes of Fresh Hope, all you end up with is false hope.
Yes.
So you don't understand it. So the people will know Fresh Hope, as always, with the comrade.
Yes.
My morning, new mercies we see.
Which is thy faithfulness.
All that we need, I have that provided. Great is thy faithfulness.
Yeah.
As again, false hope. Huh?
Yes.
That's the story, you know. And in addition, in North Windward, in addition to hope, faith, and love, and fresh hope, we have added amazing grace. Montgomery has taken us, has brought us safe thus far. And grace will lead us home. An amazing grace.
Amazing grace.
Well, yesterday I was filled with much spirit by Mount Carmel. Yesterday was Johnny Jones, Archbishop Jones' 51st birthday. So I spent a little time there with the saints and pilgrims at prayer before I went over to Southwood. I don't know if you have any queries before I go. I have a special meeting of cabinet this morning.
Just one question, Prime Minister. We were discussing the same issue of the education revolution and its impact on the students go to secondary school, universal access to secondary education. One of the issues that came out from one of the callers is the deepening of the revolution to the point where, as we move towards inclusive education, where students with learning challenges are allowed to remain in the secondary school, in the schools, sorry, whether primary, secondary schools, whether or not it is the plan of the government to ensure that trained special needs individuals are at every school to accommodate those students.
That is something which Curtis is very concerned about and working towards. And we are talking here not only with persons with special needs, as physical or particular kind of mental challenges, which they are of a particular type and nature, which have to be dealt with in particular ways. But I'm talking about learning disabilities like attention deficit disorder and dyslexia. The training modules are including more on these things, but we have to build more specialist teachers for every school. And that is one area where additional work has to be done. All right?
All right, Prime Minister.
Thanks.
All right, Prime Minister, have a good one. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
God bless.
All right. So we had a response there. So hopefully our callers listening and those who are still online, who are still, hold on, let me just get this. Where are we now? Right. Those who are still on the line and listening to radio, no doubt heard the commitment of Dr. Gonzalez, where his government is pledging to address the issue of special education and not special education in the context of, in its current context where we have a schools for special needs, but rather the inclusive education where you'd have trained individuals at the schools to address circumstances where there is a need for specialists in particular areas. So that's a positive, and I hope he addressed that. It's not something that would happen overnight, but the current Minister of Education is very concerned about it, and things are in place so that we can deepen and expand the revolution that has worked so well for our children, for our students so far. All right, let's thank Dr. Gonzalez for his call, as always. Well, boy, Denny, if the man say 5 in a run, he has nothing to show. I guess he's talking about himself. He has nothing to show, which is the situation. I can't tell you what you don't have to show. Only he could talk about that. The other one where the comrade, I don't know which comrade Dr. Gonzalez is talking about the song that was written by somebody else. But look, Ipa made a very good point when he was having his interview. He said, you can't come and use my platform, the platform of the Onto Calypso, to come and have a quarrel with anybody.
Exactly.
Calypsonians are supposed to be the conscience of the conscience of the people, bringing out the issues of our society, political, social, what have you, bringing them to the fore in song in a very creative way. And many have done that. And when I hear people respond to oh, he should be like this or that prime minister. In all the years, CP or CP no manage, nor reject, nor post, or whatever, sang anything derogatory about Prime Minister, former Prime Minister Mitchell or any of his cabinet members. Nobody tell them the thief and they sell coke and whatever. And there was assassin. So for some individuals to try and come with the hypocritical farcical thing about Mitchell never banned Calypso. Mitchell never need to ban Calypso because nobody attacked him personally. Even when, for example, people say he's a fisherman or Nancy Triqui or pose as Jem, Martin Mimuma. There was nothing libelous or defamatory, and it was all done in a type of writing. Look, I'm inviting you to your party. Come eat and drink with your group. Make no arrangements, so I'm allergic to Campbell soup. I mean, of course, people understood what he was saying, but where was the defamation in saying he allowed it to Campbell soup? So we're going to ban it for? I mean, the writing back then, Jesse Gamble, a gem of a song by Carlton Hall. Jesse and the Gunslingers. Everybody knows about John and Jesse James. You know what I'm saying? The Western thing. The beauty of the writing. The beauty of the writing. Hell Ride. We could talk about them. Keep Scap, Dylan on the beat. You could talk of the beauty of the writing.
Spectacles.
Yeah. You made the references and so on, done in a very creative way. You want to compare those gems that addressed the issues back then to the libel and defamation that we had now? Why this go sell? And I go on for right. Let's see and Razome in there anymore. Mystery still about. Let's see and mystery and manage and them teach I for write the class. Clearly, writing is a lost art. And with that I gone.
On Tuesday, June 13th, there'll be thousands of dollars to be won. A lotto jackpot of $115,000.